Hi, I'm Susan, and welcome to Being Mindful. In today's meditation, we're focusing on anxiety and how to handle these overwhelming feelings we have when we think about what might happen in the future. So settle in, take a deep breath, and let's get started. So I'll invite you to become present to where we are in this moment and just take a moment to ground yourself in sensation, in the feeling of the ground beneath your feet, your body supported by the chair. You can begin to close your eyes if that is comfortable for you, but it's fine to leave them open as well. You can take a deep breath. And we can take a moment to acknowledge that our minds naturally try to protect us by keeping an eye out for what might happen. It's evolutionary. It's just something that our minds do. And so thinking about the future, having fears about the future, is meant to be protective. But sometimes it's not helpful. Sometimes the timing isn't great. And so we can use mindfulness meditation to help us stay anchored during these emotional storms. We can't necessarily make the storm go away, but we cannot get carried away by it. And sometimes when we experience anxiety, we don't want to have it. And it's the not wanting to have it that actually causes the suffering. The fact is that our minds do look to the future, and we do have fears about what might happen. But when we struggle with fear and anxiety, we amplify it. And so we can use mindfulness meditation to help us reduce the suffering that comes with that struggle. So I want to invite you now to welcome, to the extent that you can, whatever emotion is present for you. To accept it just as it is. To explore it with compassion and curiosity. This is where the non-judgmental portion of mindfulness can be especially useful. So when we begin to notice anxiety and fear that is present and beginning to carry us away, it's helpful to notice where you sense that anxiety, where you feel the fear in your body. For a lot of people, It is felt in the abdomen. There's a tightness, there's an upset stomach almost that comes with anxiety. For some, there's a tightening of muscles. There's tension that is held. And sometimes we don't even notice it unless we take a moment to pay attention to where it's happening. In this very moment, you may or may not be feeling anxiety. Or maybe you are feeling anxiety, but you don't really, you're so used to it, it's become so normal that you don't even realize how it's being felt in the body. So let's take a moment to figure out where we are experiencing emotions in the body and focus our gentle attention on that area, the one that is the most prominent, or maybe the one where you know that you tend to feel anxiety the most. We notice the thoughts that come up around this emotion, thoughts of not wanting to have the emotion, or thoughts that exacerbate the emotion. We can notice those thoughts and then gently bring focus back to this tender spot in the body. I think a useful strategy, a useful technique for handling the difficult physical emotions that we feel is to take your dominant hand and place it on the outside of the area where you feel the most tenderness or tension. I've shared this before. It's called the compassionate hand exercise. And I really like it because it begins to help you keep the mind on that area by touching it. But the touch of our own hand also brings healing in itself. Especially in these times, physical touch is something that maybe we're not getting as much of or any of. This ability to soothe ourselves can be such an act of compassion. Exploring with compassion the sensations inside the body and on the exterior where there's contact with the hand. That ever helpful mind may try to drag us off into a future scenario. We can notice when that happens and gently bring that focus back to this tender, painful aspect of our being. This activity, this exercise of the compassionate hand doesn't make the feeling go away, but maybe it reduces the impact of it. Maybe it helps it to feel cradled and comforted. Maybe this allowing whatever is there to be there helps to keep it from getting stronger and causing more suffering. It's natural to have anxiety in these times. And these feelings, they change from moment to moment. They won't be with us forever. And as this practice comes to an end, I'll invite you to place your other hand over your heart and to thank yourself for taking these moments for self-care, to appreciate this small oasis, and to find ways to carry this self-compassion, this acceptance into your day. And when anxiety inevitably comes up, just place that hand wherever you feel it impacting your body and take a moment. I invite you to move your body in whatever way would be comfortable for you. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Thanks for being with me today. I hope, as always, that this meditation is helpful to you in your own practice, and that maybe this way of looking at anxiety as not a problem, but just how we are feeling at this moment will be a comfort to you in these days. If you liked this video, a thumbs up is always very affirming. And I hope you'll consider subscribing so that you can see future offerings that I have. Thanks and have a wonderful day.